And to go on with this idea of, the left wing just being, their perception of reality is so distorted, and that is why I think a lot of them do have these mental disorders. I have Demi Lovato. She's not living in the real world herself. I have a Daily Caller piece. I'm not really going to go into the article. I'll just specifically go over to her tweet. She's going to switch herself over. Apparently, she's non-binary now. She has known she's flip-flopped on this. I think she was straight, then she was gay, then she was bisexual, and then after that, she switched over to, I think she wanted to be considered queer, or gender fluid, or something like that. Now she's changing to non-binary. So, she stated this was May 19th, 2021 on her tweet. Today is a day I'm so happy to share more of my life with you all. I am proud to let you know that I identify as non-binary and will officially be changing my pronouns to they, them moving forward. This has come after a lot of healing and self-reflective work. I'm still learning and coming into myself, and I don't claim to be an expert or a spokesperson. Sharing this with you now opens another level of vulnerability for me. So, I think Demi Lovato is a severely damaged person. I don't mean that in a negative way. I mean it in just a fair and clear, concise way to put it. I think she has some mental problems for sure. I know she's had some drug addiction issues in the past. She has, I think she's relapsed on heroin a couple of times now. I think she almost killed herself at one point. She OD'd so hard. She has a lot of problems. I think this is always, whenever she kind of comes out with one of these ideas, I think a lot of times kind of a cry for help. It's for attention. She doesn't really get it, I think, much. And she's all over the place. She's definitely mentally, she has a mental disorder. There's no doubt in me saying that. And I'm not a scientist, but I would diagnose, if I had to guess, just from her history of drug abuse, her history of changing so many times, being, dealing with, I think she has manic depressive disorder. She has a lot of issues. That's all I know. And you see this amongst the younger celebrities. I think part of the reason is that they get such a endorphin rush when they're younger. When they're a celebrity, they're on TV, they're so famous, people are freaking out, they're crying when they see them. They get such a endorphin rush, and this was what exact same thing happened to Justin Bieber. The amount of endorphins that you get rushed into your system almost burn out your neurotransmitters in your brain to a point where you have problems in the future when you become an adult producing those same endorphins to get that same high, that same good feeling. And because you have that lack of endorphins, all of your levels are totally off. And I think that could be part of the reason it seems like all of these really young pop star celebrities, when they get older, they have a lot of issues. Now, Justin Bieber, I think, has cleaned himself up a lot since he's gotten married. I think he's like a super religious guy now. But I just hope that Demi Lovato honestly finds the best way to rectify all the problems that she has. It's a total mess for her. So Russian and speaking, and this speaks to the wider issue in American society, that she has this problem, and obviously, maybe upbringing, maybe she was born this way, I'm not exactly sure. But I also blame our society for not rejecting things like this. We're telling people that they are things that are not real. And these are irrational occurrences. This isn't real. You know how when you took math, there was irrational numbers and rational numbers. This is something that's irrational. It's not real. You can't consider yourself they, them. We're not changing the English language, because the English language behind it, those quote unquote pronouns, they have an actual meaning behind them. So they don't, there is no meaning now when you change the word they, them. You're making everybody abide by different rules in the English language just because it makes you feel more comfortable. So you're making everybody else change their lives around to make you feel more comfortable. What the meaning of they, them now is something totally different. So what Demi Lovato wants us to refer to her as, instead of saying she, her, what have you, what she wants us to refer to her as is they. So they, when referring to Demi, or just saying Demi Lovato in her full name, Demi Lovato, or saying they don't like this or they don't like that. And when you think of they, you think of a large group of people. So yeah, we're just getting to this point where language is changing, and when you change the language, you can kind of change the foundation and the fundamentals of society, and that's what the left wing is attempting to do, and that's why they kind of just play along with this whole guessing game where no one knows what they are, everything's so fluid. It's this cultural relativism where you're not able to judge anything and nothing really matters and there's just no rules at all.